I was preparing for this week's planning board meeting today and realized that I haven't done the update from the last planning board meeting. So let's do that. It was November 20th. The board members in attendance were Rick, Don, Niles, Daniel, and me. There was no public comments. Terry and James were also there. No public comments. The minutes were approved from the October 2nd and November 6th meetings. In new business, we had something that's kind of actually old business. So there was an approved plan already for a stop and go, like a gas station convenience store kind of thing at the end of Blackberry Hill Road and Route 4. So, but when you get a conditional approval like that, you need to start construction within 1 year, and they didn't do that. In that 1 year time, the board had made some changes to the land use ordinance that would directly affect to this application. So because they didn't get started, they had to come back. And they've made some changes. Basically, they want it to be there because the size limitation was one of the things that the new land use ordinance changed. They are proposing that they're doing a 3,000 square foot convenience store and then 3,000 square feet of restaurant slash fast food and 1,500 square feet of storage, because their building was originally 7,500 square feet. So I guess originally they were allowed to have that size, but the land use ordinance limited the size of convenience stores. So that's what they're doing now, is trying to get more than one use in there. I think the biggest issues that the board had questions about were like the separation of uses, because they're not making it a convenience store and then a wall down the middle and a restaurant. It's kind of all interspersed. It's not even really well separated within the building. A lot of questions regarding like, how is it different than a Cumberland Farms? And a Cumberland Farms isn't classified as a restaurant. So there were a lot of questions about that. And I think we approved the application as complete so that we could continue on and go to the public hearing. Waived the site walk because we've already all been out there before. Just seeing if there was anything else. Oh, the one thing that was brought up was, this would be if the board approves this with these uses that are kind of congruent, not really separated. Are we setting a precedent for other businesses that are trying to kind of find loopholes in the ordinance and allow multiple uses in spaces without actual separation? So something that we're trying to keep in mind with that. And then we talked about some land use ordinance amendments. After that, the Board of Appeals, we had 2 members of the Board of Appeals come through and just ask for clarification on some of our access to lot ordinances. We have apparently they're seeing a lot of developers come through and really want to like develop to the maximum, and rather than interpreting our land use ordinance maybe how it was meant to be interpreted, they are hiring attorneys to find loopholes in it, and attorneys will do things like that. So I guess they're finding loopholes, so we need to tighten up in order to basically prevent big developers from coming in and overdeveloping the town. So that was that. There was no second public comment. I didn't make any notes for informational items, and we adjourned, and we have another meeting tonight.